What's going on, Jets fans? Welcome into NYJ Today. In this video, we're going to be breaking down North Dakota State quarterback Trey Lance. This is the same school that Carson Wentz came from, and there are some people that believe that Trey Lance is a better prospect coming out than Carson Wentz was, and he went number 2 overall. And then there's other people that believe that he's too raw coming out and that he needs a lot of developing when he comes to the NFL. We're going to be breaking down his film, and I'm going to be giving my personal view on Trey Lance as he comes to the NFL. Let's get after it. Okay, so like we do in all of the videos, we're just going to be breaking down a little bit of his college stats, his career at North Dakota State, and ultimately there's a couple of things that I really like when I look at this, and there's a couple of things that really concern me. So number one, the biggest concern I see here is that he's only played one full season of college football. There's a lot of data that supports that college quarterbacks need at least 2 seasons in college football to be able to successfully transfer from the college level to the professional level. And when you're looking at this, he has 1 season and it's extremely productive, and we're going to get into that in just a second. But again, 1 year of production, 1 year of starting in college is a little bit concerning when you take my opinion on this matter. So when we're looking at the stats here, we see a great takeaway, and the number one takeaway here is that he's a beast. So 2,800 passing yards. He has about an average of 9.7 yards, 28 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in 2019, which is absolutely absurd. And then we look at his rushing production. 1,100 rushing yards in 2019 with 14 more touchdowns. So you're talking about some of the highest level of production and efficiency you could possibly imagine in a college prospect. But again, that negative of him only playing 1 year really scares me quite a bit. There are a lot of people that saw him play his 1-game showcase this year in 2020, and they say to themselves, "Oh, he didn't look so good. His stock should drop." I don't necessarily put any bearing on his game that he played this year, just because it was 1 game. My guess would be is that he was probably pushing a little bit in that game. Because he knew it was going to be his only game of the season. So I don't really put a lot of stock in that game. I do worry, again, this is just a small thing, I do worry that he's only thrown 1 interception in his college football career. That is not going to happen in the NFL. He's going to throw interceptions. He's going to make mistakes. And I worry that having made so few in college, how is he going to react to this in the pros? Is he going to be able to handle it? Is he going to be able to shrug it off and kind of go to the bench and talk to his coaches and correct the mistake? Or is he the kind of quarterback that when he does make mistakes, is he going to go into a shell? So just something to think about as we look at the stats here. I'd love to know what you guys think. These stats are very, very interesting to look at, to say the least. This is just a small takeaway here, but if you follow Daniel Jeremiah, I'm a big fan of Daniel Jeremiah. I like his opinion. I think he's very measured, and he does take a lot of time to do the research when he does state his opinions. So he was on a podcast with PFF, and he said, "I actually thought Trey Lance was further along watching him than Carson Wentz was when he was coming out." So when I put on the tape, I do see somebody a little bit raw. But again, I'm not a professional evaluator of talent. Daniel Jeremiah is one of those people that is a professional at this, in this field. So I do take some serious stock in what he says, and so I just think that it's something interesting that we can kind of think about when we're looking at the tape. Okay, so on the same podcast, there was another person who came on, and his quote is there are some serious concerns about Trey Lance's passing ability, but I'm not sure we've seen a quarterback with his running style. I think that last statement is a little bit exaggerated. Of course, we've seen quarterbacks that can run in college football and in the NFL. The thing he should have probably said is that he's an excellent running quarterback, elite talent in that regard, but has concerns with him passing. So, this is something that, again, we're going to take a close look at, is his passing in college football. And we just need to take this along with what other people have said about Trey Lance and just try to compile it all together to come up with an opinion on him. Okay, to start things off in this video, we're actually going to be breaking down some of his negative film. We'll do that first, and then we'll get to the positives afterwards. So what you're seeing on this play here is a pretty clean pocket. I would have liked to have seen him shift more of his body weight to that front leg. But having said that, it's just a errant throw. He doesn't quite hit this receiver where he needs to. It's a little bit low and away. So again, if he had just kind of stepped a little bit harder into this throw, I think he would have been able to complete it. But again, the defender's coming in a little bit. It may have caused him to not want to step into the throw. So just a little small takeaway here, a little bit inaccurate, even with protection. So something I really like about this play is that he is in the I formation and he is taking a snap under the center. He will not need to learn this as he comes to the NFL. We know in college football there's a lot of spread offenses where they never even really take snaps under center. So it's nice to see that he is doing this in college football and won't necessarily need to learn how to do it in the pros. But having said that though, this is a play action. It's a fullback to the flat kind of play here. And I'm a little concerned because it's low, it's behind the fullback, and he's got great protection. And I just don't love the look of this play. I know that the fullback should have caught it, but you can see that the fullback kind of has to stop and drop down to the ground to even try to make the catch. So again, we need to see better accuracy from Trey Lance, especially given the clean protection that he got. Okay, on this next play, we're going to see that he's got great protection yet again. And I do not like the look of this throw. This is a weird throwing motion, and it comes out looking very funny. It goes obviously way out of bounds. The receiver was open and had that cornerback beat. So if he has proper fundamentals, if he is throwing this ball in play, this might have been a touchdown. If not a touchdown, then it could have been for sure completed. So again, just weird fundamentals. And just really a poor throw. All right, on this play, you're probably going to think I'm an old curmudgeon. I want my quarterback to be able to run. I want my quarterback to make plays with their legs. I think that Sam Darnold did not use his legs nearly enough. He clearly has the ability to move, and I think that Sam Darnold could have gotten himself out of bad situations throwing the football if he had just used his legs more. But anyway, back to Trey Lance here. I love the design run here, and I love that he's able to make plays with his legs, but I do not want to see my quarterback taking hits like this. This is something that Josh Allen does. This is stuff that Lamar Jackson does, and I do not like it. I don't think that quarterbacks should be taking hits like this. We've seen how injuries and hard hits have basically ruined Cam Newton's career. I mean, he is not an old quarterback, but he's basically washed at this point, and I just feel like with your quarterback, you need to be sliding right there. I get it. He gets another like 10 yards, but you're not built to take hits like this. You're not a running back. You're a quarterback, and I just feel like, for me, it makes me a little bit worried to see this. I know it's a small negative, but to me, he needs to slide down earlier, pick up the yards that you can, get down, and let's go to the next play. That's just my opinion. Okay, hopefully you stayed tuned. You weren't too mad at me when I did the criticism clips first. So there's a lot of good with Trey Lance. So please, I hope that you stayed and watched to here in this part of the video. So one of the things we know about the Shanahan offense is they're going to be using the running game, and they're going to be using play action to get the ball down the field. And actually, something that really excites me when I watch Trey Lance is that he is doing this in college football. Play action, he's under center, and I really like his footwork here, and his fundamentals look solid on this play. I know that I had shown a play earlier where it was just looking kind of ugly, the throwing motion and all of that, but this is beautiful. He steps into his throw, he uncorks the ball, and he's able to complete a touchdown here. I would love to see a quarterback that we could draft that his strength is the play action, deep ball, or deep passing game, and it looks like Trey Lance certainly has the ability to do so. All right, guys, I love this play, and I'm going to go over why I love it so much. So something that we lacked, something that we didn't see as much with Justin Fields in my breakdown of him was his ability to kind of look off defenders and kind of move his eyes around the field. And if you kind of zoom in closely here, Trey Lance is looking left and then turns and fires to this person running a seam route up the middle. I believe it's a tight end, just running straight up the field here. It's a little bit behind the tight end. He needed to put this a little bit more in front of him, but I love the footwork. He stays calm in the pocket. He does take a hit. And again, he uses his eyes to kind of keep the safety, the deep safety in the middle, over to the left. And if you watch the play, that's where Trey Lance is placing this ball, is right where that safety could have been if his eyes were locked onto that tight end. So just something to keep an eye on when you're watching these quarterbacks is, can they use their eyes to maneuver and to manipulate the defenders that are on the field? It looks like Trey Lance certainly can do this. Now, I know it kind of stinks you're not able to actually see him on this play, making the actual throw, because the score is blocking him. But what you want to pay attention to here, what you want to pay attention to here is his ball placement, where he's actually putting the ball. He's got it way out. The defender has no chance at making a play on this, and it's right where it needs to be. So fantastic ball placement on this deep play here. I really like this play. And I like it because he's not only making a play with his legs, he's scoring a touchdown in the red zone, but he's not taking any big hits. You know, worst case scenario here on this play, that number 26 could have cut him off and he would have just taken this ball out of bounds. So again, really nice job of using the motion, the jet sweep motion here, to get him open on the left side to run this in for an easy touchdown. Okay, this play is a little bit of a mixed bag. So number one, he does not have both hands on the ball in the pocket. You can see that he's just holding the ball with his right hand at certain points. That's a little bit risky, and he's going to get strip sacked if he's not holding the ball with two hands. It's a small thing. It can obviously get coached out of him, but that's just one of my takeaways here on this play. The other thing is I still don't really love the throwing motion. It's a little bit weird. But having said that, though, this is an absolute strike, an absolute dime. He puts this exactly where it needs to be. He's out in front of the receiver. It's away from the defender, and he hits the guy right in the face with the ball. So outstanding throw and just a really good delivery here. Okay, so something I really continue to see that I really love about Trey Lance is, again, the use of the play action pass, and he's getting the ball out pretty quickly here. I like that he kind of steps up. The right tackle's getting kind of beat on the edge. He takes a small step forward to ensure that he's able to get a passing lane here. And I just really love the fact that he's able to use this. And again, the Shanahan offense is going to involve the play action pass. And I really love seeing him having experience doing this prior to entering the NFL. So we've talked a lot about the play action pass in this video. And again, this is awesome, because if he can do the play action pass and do the deep ball passing along with that, you can even get more creative here and have him do these open boots where he's clearly going to take off and run. That's his first read, is to run. I don't love seeing him take the hit, but damn, if it's not exciting to see a guy just go and take off from the 22-yard line and he's just off and running and making a big play in the red zone. I love it. I would love to see this on Sundays. Okay, so this is an outstanding play. He's taking the snap in the shotgun. He's looking downfield. It's 3rd and 9. And he is able to step up. There's a ton of pressure coming in on the edges, and he's able to step up and sees a clear running lane, picks up the first down, and gets out of bounds. No hit. Just an awesome, awesome job. This would be really hard for defenses to stop in the NFL. It doesn't matter what college you play for. This kind of thing transfers really nicely to the NFL, so I love this. All right, so this is an enormous play in the game. It's an 8-point game. It's at the beginning of the 4th quarter. It's 3rd and 23. He does a really nice job of stepping up in the shotgun formation, and then after that, he's just off, and he takes off for a 44-yard touchdown run. This flips the entire game. Just a tremendous job of making a big, big play on 3rd down. I love this ability to make plays and not taking a big hit. This is fantastic. Just awesome. All right, so some of his throws, I've been a little bit leery of what I've seen, but this looks like a really nice throw. He does have a bit of a wind-up here. You can see he's kind of doing this weird thing with the ball. Before he throws it, he kind of has to cock into it. So he does have a strong arm, but not necessarily a fast throwing motion. But anyway, having said that, this is just an outstanding throw. He's got good protection here, and he just uncorks this deep ball. It puts it right where it needs to go. Just a really nice throw and a really nice play made by Trey Lance. All right, on this last play here, we're just seeing Trey Lance kind of just doing an automatic. It's a designed running play for the quarterback out of the shotgun. We see Josh Allen doing a lot of this in the red zone. You see Kyler Murray doing things like this in the red zone, and it's deadly. Again, don't love the fact that he's getting a little bit of a hit here. But again, you have to score when you're in the red zone. It's critical. These are game-swinging plays, game-deciding plays in the red zone like this. So I love seeing him being able to capitalize in the red zone on third down. It's just a really nice play, again, by Trey Lance. All right, to summarize my overall feelings about Trey Lance, there's a couple of things we need to go over. Number one, do I think he should be in consideration? Yes, he should be in consideration. He's clearly talented. I do think there are some red flags here, a little bit of concerns. I mentioned that he only has 1 year of starting experience in college football, so that's concerning. And I do worry about his ability to rebound from making mistakes in the NFL. He's only made a few in his college career, so how is he going to handle those situations as he moves to the NFL? But having said that, there's a ton of positives here. He's very productive. He's a great athlete, fantastic athlete. He has true throwing talent, and we need that in our quarterback. And the other thing worth mentioning here is that he fits the scheme, I think, very nicely. He's already used to doing play action in college. He's used to taking snaps under center. That's something that not a lot of the quarterbacks that we've seen so far have really done a lot of that in college football. So do I like Trey Lance? Yes, very much so. Do I want to take him at number 2 overall? I would say no. I think that's a very big leap to take. Having said that, though, if the Jets decide they want to trade back from number 2 overall, this could be an interesting move. They would get more picks. They could build around him a little bit better. And there's no reason why they couldn't let this kid sit. They can find a veteran in free agency to let this guy learn. And I don't think there's any problem with that. A lot of people are suggesting that whoever we draft at the top of this draft has to play from day one. I don't think that's necessarily true. We saw the Kansas City Chiefs trade up for Patrick Mahomes. He was a raw prospect. He needed time. He needed to learn. And look how that's paying off. Now, again, I'm not saying that Trey Lance is Patrick Mahomes or will become Patrick Mahomes, but there's more than one way to get the job done here. We can give this guy some time to learn, and I think that it's potentially an attractive route to take with this team. That's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching NYJ Today. If you could all do me a big favor and jet up the like button for this video, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. When you guys subscribe and when you guys like the videos and comment on the videos, it gives me a ton of energy and it motivates me to make more and more content for you guys. So again, just thank you so much for all of our participants in our videos. It means the world to us. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. How would you handle Trey Lance in the draft? Would you pursue him? And if so, how would you do so? Would you trade back from 2? Would you trade up from 23? I would love to know what you guys think. Go Jets, and I'll see you guys next time.